NFL Game Day Pick'Em in your house right now. 15 games left in week one. How about Cynthia Freeland? She already told you the Eagles were going to win. What do you think about the Titans-Dolphins coming up this weekend?
After running 10,000 simulations of every single game this week, I actually have the Dolphins pulling off the upset in this one. 24-21 at home. Come on. The Heat's going to play a big factor in this one.
The last time the Texans and the Patriots got together, it was an offensive explosion. 69 combined points, 813 yards. The defenses also got in on the fun. 7 total sacks in this one. TD, I'm going to start with you. Okay, the Patriots are the 6-point favorites. So what are the Texans going to need to do to pull off the upset?
Well, we all know if you want to beat the Patriots, it's not about stopping Tom Brady. It's about outscoring that offense, right? So last year, Deshaun Watson, real good game. You see right there, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, but cut down on the INTs. If they can do that, that gives them a great shot of beating Patriots.
All right, well, the Patriots defense does not have Matt Patricia. So how are they going to overcome that, Cynthia?
Well, luckily, Matt Patricia wasn't on the field, and they're actually getting Dante Hightower back. That's a huge Pro Bowl linebacker, makes a big difference in this one. I think there's going to be fewer overall yards given up as a total defense this season. I think that makes a big difference in the outcomes of all of their games.
Time to make our first picks of 2018. Dan, you want to start?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Absolutely. So without Matt Patricia, they have Bill Belichick calling the defenses in the game, and you have Tom Brady on the other side of the ball. I think it's going to take Deshaun Watson a little while to get back up to speed. Let's go Patriots.
I like that, but you know what? I'm going to go Texans. No Nate Solder, no Brandon Cooks, no Julian Amendola, no Danny Amendola, no Julian Edelman. Who is he throwing the ball to? The Texans are pulling off the W.
Well, you know what? I'm going with the Patriots here. Tom Brady doesn't need all those guys you just mentioned to throw the ball to. They still have Tom Brady. And plus what Dan talked about, you still have Deshaun Watson not quite back yet. So give me the Patriots in this one.
The leaky O-line for the Texans drives this one for me. I have the Patriots winning 27-21. That's only 48 points if you guys want to do the math. Compared to last time, that's like 3 touchdowns fewer total points. 21 points. Just
about, I'm bad at math, by the way, but we want you guys to tell us, who do you think is winning this game of the week, Texans or the Patriots? Vote at NFL Game Day. Dan?
All right, Bears and Packers. Green Bay, as you know, owned Chicago in 2017. Regardless, really, of who was under center this offseason, Aaron Rodgers got paid $33.5 million a year to be exact. And the Bears have a plethora of shiny new toys, not the least of which is Khalil Mack. TD, Packers favored by 7.5. How do the Bears, though, pull off that upset?
Well, Vic Fangio has a brand new shiny object, a toy he has in Khalil Mack. They've got to make some plays on the field. They've got to be able to get to the Packers, get to Aaron Rodgers, and cause at least 1 or 2 impactful plays, whether it's a fumble, an INT, something to really get that offense going.
Cynthia, are you at all concerned about that Packers defense this year?
If there's one Achilles heel of this defense, it's their secondary. It's very unclear. Last season they gave up a ton of yards, and that was a real source of concern even when Aaron Rodgers was on the field. They invested it in the offseason with their second-round pick, Josh Jackson, and they have a very young secondary overall, so we're going to have to see what they put together.
Let's pick them up. Cynthia, you're up first.
You know what? I'm going to go 27-21 in this one, too. The home team takes it, Packers over Bears.
TD?
I'm going with the Packers at home. Aaron Rodgers, 8-2 at home versus the Bears. And second thing, the Bears offense, we haven't really seen it. They don't get the job done. So give me the Packers.
I like Khalil Mack on that Bears defense, but I also like Jimmy Graham with Aaron Rodgers. I'm going Packers. Get the win.
All right, let's make it a clean sweep. I'm going Packers as well. Let's not forget they fortified that secondary. Tramon Williams is back. First 2 draft picks in the secondary as well. Clean sweep for the Pack.
The Packers get it at home. Hey, guys, another game I'm really excited about. How about this? Plenty of storylines with this one. The Jags, the Giants, starting with 2 top 5 picks in each backfield. Plus, of course, you got Tom Coughlin returning to New York. And most importantly, these 2 teams hope to be playing deep into January. Hey, maybe even February. I'm saying it now. Maybe the Jags are going to the Super Bowl. TD, though, expectations for the Giants' retooled offense taking on that Jags defense.
You know what? Right now, they have a lot of pieces. They look really good, but I think expectations against that defense of the Jacksonville Jaguars are not really that high for me because Jacksonville's offense won't score a lot of points. I do think this offense will score some points, though.
Okay, so you just mentioned the Jags offense. Cynthia, are they going to just need to lean on Leonard Fournette in this one?
Simply put, yes. They're going to need to lean on him all season long. This is going to be a high-volume pick for the entire season. And yes, we talk about stacked boxes against the Jags, but you know what? They know that's coming. That's why in the offseason, they went out and got Andrew Norwell. He's a guard that's going to help open up lines for Leonard Fournette to take advantage of. And you know what? I think that makes a big difference in this one.
The Jags are the 3-point favorites in this one. Dan started off for the pick.
Talking about offensive lines, the Giants fortified theirs at least on the left side with Will Hernandez and Nate Solder. That's going to help Saquon Barkley get loose. Upset alert. I'm going Giants.
You know, I like all the new tools on the Giants offense, but they're going up against the Jags defense. I'm sorry, the Jags are...
They're good.
Yeah, they're good.
I'm going with the Giants because they have superstars, Odell Beckham, Saquon Barkley, and I think I believe in Eli getting down. So give me the Giants.
So I'm taking the Jaguars, 24-21. Olivier Vernon is not playing. Who's going to pressure Blake Bortles? You have an answer for that?
No one is a pressure Blake Bortles.
Well, he doesn't.
Pressure
Not
himself.
JVD anymore.
No Olivier Vernon. I'm saying Jags win.
All right.
Smart girl right there.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to the picks in just a minute. Let's talk individual performances in a little segment we like to call more or less. We're going to start with that number 2 overall pick. Will Saquon Barkley have more or less than 1,200 yards from scrimmage? Not rushing yards from scrimmage, TD. I see that look.
Less than 1,200 yards from scrimmage. Way more than that, man. He'll get 1,200 yards just rushing.
You going 2,000?
I don't know. No, I'm not going 2,000. I'm not going that far, but he'll get more than 1,200 yards from scrimmage. That is an easy one for me. More.
Cynthia?
Listen, I'm totally in agreement with you on this one. I think maybe people think, all right, the Giants offense from last season, we didn't see any big plays. They were last in the NFL. Big plays, rushes of 10 yards, passes of 20-plus yards. That's going to totally change this season. And I think part of the reason why Saquon Barkley reaches that mark maybe by week 12 or something crazy like that is because of the return of those big plays.
Yeah, that seems like a no-brainer. Another no-brainer. How about the number 1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield? Will he start more or less than 8 games? TD.
I'm going with less than 8 games because he won't be playing.
Yeah.
Gerard Taylor's their starting quarterback. He will maintain that position. Listen, he doesn't throw picks. He doesn't really bench himself. He's going to stay in that game. Unless they're just falling off the cliff, you bring in Baker Mayfield, I don't see that happening. Less than 8 games.
Love how you went Tyrod, by the way.
Tyrod, yes, it's Tyrod.
Tyrod.
It is Tyrod Taylor.
How about you, Cynthia?
All right, I'm agreeing with you again on this one. I think it's fewer than 8 games. 2 reasons. Primarily, Tyrod, whatever we want to call him, he's not going to turn the ball over, and that's a huge reason why you'd get benched. Turnovers, that makes you benching. And the second is they have the opportunity to make Baker Mayfield wait and learn and figure out the offense and really grow so that when he gets on the field inevitably, he's going to be a huge playmaker.
Yeah, if they're winning, there's no way he's going to be in there. Aaron Rodgers is going to bring some more wins to the Packers. Will he throw more or less than 40 touchdown passes this season, though, TD?
Listen, Aaron Rodgers is about as good as they come. I know he's back, and he's got a lot more weapons now. Jimmy Graham for the red zone touchdowns. But I'm going less here.
It's a big number.
Yeah, that's a big number. I mean, you're talking about 40 touchdowns a year. I don't care. The greatest quarterbacks, that's hard to get to that level every single year, so I'm going less.
He did have it in 2016.
That is 2016. This is 2018 now.
Listen, I'm going over. I think that there's more here that's like,
wow.
It's a big number. You're absolutely right.
I like it.
But here's what I tell you. They run a lot of empty backfield sets, especially in the red zone. Do you know where you score touchdowns? Usually?
Red zone.
Yeah,
The
so
red
I think that Jimmy Graham in the end zone, that's going to make a big difference.
Then I have Jordy Nelson. That was his binky. That was his
Binky.
guy. That was
Devontae Adams, new binky.
Aaron Rodgers may not like this next question, guys, but Khalil Mack, will he have more or less than 2 sacks against the Pack? TD, go ahead.
I'm going 2 or more sacks against the Packers. He is now, this dude's rejuvenated. He's got a chip on his shoulder, just got traded to the Bears. So, listen, and what happens when Aaron Rodgers scrambles, he's going to scramble to his side. So, give me 2 or more sacks by Khalil Mack.
Good point.
I like it. How about you, Cynthia?
I think it's going to be fewer. Not because I don't think he's capable of doing it or that his pressure isn't going to be elite. I just don't think he's going to play the full complement of snaps in the game necessary to get those sacks.
An AFC North tilt in Cleveland week 1. While the Steelers will be in Ohio, it looks like Lev Bell will not, expecting to be a no-show. And even if he does, it doesn't seem like he's going to play, meaning second-year back James Conner will be the Steelers' bell cow. Just a slight difference between the two backs. Conner has yet to get a rushing touchdown or a reception in the NFL. However, he has actually looked good in the preseason. The weather likely to be a factor, gusty winds and rain. TD, how different, though, do you believe that this Steelers offense will look without Le'Veon Bell in it?
I think vastly different. I mean, James Conner's a good back. He's unproven at this point, but Le'Veon Bell brings so much to the table. For example, you can take him, put him out wide, run some slant routes, run some streak routes.
Yep.
And then in the backfield between the tackles, he's one of the best backs in the game at running between the tackles. So James Conner, not sure how he will pan out. Good back, but not Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell led the NFL among running backs in receptions, so you're absolutely right about that. Cynthia, on the offensive side of the ball for the Browns, what are you looking forward to seeing from Tyrod Taylor?
Well, with the third best touchdown interception ratio over the past few years, Tyrod Taylor takes care of the ball. You talked about it before, gusty winds, potential weather concerns, and Tyrod Taylor is going to keep the ball in their possession when he has the chance. That's going to be a huge difference maker for me in this one.
Let's get to the picks. Steelers favored by 4. Who do you like?
I actually have this one in a very close matchup, but I do have the Steelers coming out on top 24-23. I'm going to be watching the middle of the Steelers defense, too. I don't see that safety position in addition to the running back.
This is a really popular upset pick, I think, because everybody bought into Hard Knocks. I'm not from Missouri, but you got to show me Browns. I'm going Steelers in this one. TD, what do you think?
I'm going with the Cleveland Browns in this one. This one is an upset here for me. Looking about timing is everything. They're catching the Steelers right now when they don't have their big three. When they have their big three, they're really good. Without them, they're 12-10. And so for me, I think this is a great opportunity for the Browns to beat the Steelers. So give me those Browns.
I'd like to say the Browns because I always like to root for an underdog, but we all know it's going to be the Steelers. We saw what D'Angelo Williams did when he filled in for Lev Bell in 2016. But guys, we've got plenty more picks on the way for you at home. But you know what? We've already got one game in the books. Take a look.
It is 2nd and 7. This time it goes to Ajayi. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He's in the end zone.
Now they're going to need their defense to do it one more time.
Ryan going to cut it loose. There's Jones caught midfield. Julio 40 and inside the 35 at the 2-minute warning. Ryan takes the snap. He's back. He looks. He fires and it is caught out of bounds. Game over. Game over. And the Eagles have beaten the Atlanta Falcons 18-12 as it went to Julio Jones, who could not catch it inbounds.
So a big win for the Eagles Thursday night as they knock off the Falcons, a meeting of two NFC teams that had double-digit wins this past season. 6 teams in the NFC had 10 wins or more. All right, let's stay in the NFC and try to project some of the win totals here, starting with the Saints, Miss Freeland, who had 11 wins last year.
You know what? I actually think that number is going to be about the same right here with 11 wins. I think they repeat as the NFC South champs. I really like their balance on offense and on defense. What do you think?
I like the repeat of the division, but I like more. I think they're about
more?
12. I think that's a 12-14
It's
right
one
there.
game difference.
But still, that one game can make a huge difference.
In the NFC, you're right.
Yeah.
It might not be a harder division of football. They're absolutely stacked there. Absolutely. All right, Cowboys, Cynthia, what do you think?
Okay, so this is not a popular opinion. I don't want, 7 wins.
Whoa.
I know. I'm sorry. The defense, I have really big concerns. I want to see how this defense works. Are they going to be able to stop the run? Are they going to be able to stop the pass? I'm not entirely sure how they're going to do it. Their defense is a concern for me.
I think the defense is going to be the strength of this team, but I think 7 wins is a little head.
Strength.
No, I think a lot.
What about Ezekiel Elliott?
I think it's about 5 wins.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm going a little less than that.
9 wins last year to 5 wins, according to TD. All right, how about the Rams? What a year it was under first-year head coach Sean McVay.
All right. They're not going to get to double digits in my model, but they are repeating as the NFC West champs. The champs, they're going to go. They're going to make it to the playoffs. I'm not worried about it. 9 wins. Okay, let's go.
I just want to make sure she's feeling okay.
I just want to take
It's a little chilly in here, but it's all good.
Move that all the way to about 12 wins. That's what they need to be, about 12 wins for the Rams. At least 12 wins.
All right, 11 wins for the Rams last year. Last year, the Bears won 5. What do you see in their future this year?
You know what? I think the Bears, this is actually make some Bears fans pretty happy here. I had to redo all my models because of the Bears, making that trade in the middle of the night because of Khalil Mack. I think they are number 7. That means they are 1 slot away from potentially making it to the playoffs in my preseason rankings, which sets up their matchup with the Giants to be the potential play-in game for who gets that wild card. Big year for the Bears.
I think that is on the money. 8 wins for the Bears. Offense still not quite there. They'll about take another year for that. Defense is good, but 8 wins is solid.
A lot of additions there in Chicago. All right, 49ers last year coming off a 6-win season. What do you see?
Okay, because of this rounding, it goes to 8, but it's really more like 7 wins for this one. That fourth place schedule got worse now that they have to play the Bears. They don't get that fourth place advantage.
I was thinking they lost McKinnick, so
less?
About
you think
6,
a little less?
About 6,
7.
Yeah.
Well, listen, they can't win them all with Jimmy G. Eventually, he's going to lose a game. Aaron?
All right, Dan, 2 highly paid QBs facing off in Minnesota as Jimmy G and the Niners take on Kirk Cousins and those Vikings. Of course, huge expectations for both guys after making bank this offseason. Let's take a look at their numbers from last year. Jimmy G, of course, edging out Cousins in terms of completion percentage, passing yards per game, and passer rating. However, Cousins, let's be honest, he does have the experience. So the Vikings are the 6.5-point favorite on this. What is this just going to be all on Jimmy G's back to get the W there in Minnesota?
Yes, it is. It's going to be all on Jimmy G because, this team doesn't have a lot of weapons right now. They lost Jared McKinnon. The receivers are they're pretty young there. But last year, this has been the golden child. This is the guy that they've rolled the back of, Jimmy Garoppolo, and everything that we're saying right now is based off his performance. If he doesn't play well, they will not win. The Vikings are stacked.
Yeah, and their defense number 1 in almost every single defensive statistical category. What are you looking forward to with the defense there in the Vikings?
I think Danielle Hunter's agent needs to call and be like, hey, did you see all these other pass rushers contracts? Because I need one too, because I am just as nasty and scary. There's no better defense last season on third down than the Vikings. That's kind of all you need to say, in my opinion, for that. They're one of my top-rated defenses overall this season. I really like them.
As a starter, Jimmy G undefeated, but I have a feeling that might change in this game. Dan, you want to go with the pick?
I have mad respect for Kyle Shanahan's offensive genius, but I don't even think Kyle's going to have an answer for the Minnesota Vikings defense. There's a reason they had 5 Pro Bowlers last year. I'm going Minnesota.
I'm going Minnesota. I don't even know what else is to add. The Vikings defense is really good. Breaking news, people. Cynthia?
So I have a 27-19 very lopsided victory for the Vikings at home in this one because of the defense, but also I'm really excited to see what happens on offense.
I'm going with the Vikings, man. We talked about it. Defense wins games and championships. Vikings, they have a lot of defense, so give me that right now.
Here are 3 things my model projects to happen in Week 1 and for 2018. Number 1, I expect Alex Smith to throw multiple touchdowns in his first game with the Redskins as they take on the Cardinals. Number 2, the Rams face the Raiders on Monday night. Look for that one to be lower scoring than most people think. LA wins that one 28-17. And finally, I don't expect a big rushing year from Alvin Kamara. He'll have fewer than 1,150 rushing yards, not scrimmage yards, on the season. And that's 3 and out.
Cowboys in Carolina, and it could be tough sledding for Zeke. Panthers had the 3rd-ranked run defense last season. Ezekiel Elliott against top 5 run defenses in his career. You can see the numbers, a massive drop-off from 112 yards per game to 73 per game on the ground. The Panthers are 3-point favorites in this one. Remember, there's no Thomas Davis because of that suspension. So if the Panthers shut down Zeke on offense, who else needs to step up for the Cowboys, TD?
Well, typically when your running game gets shut down, you better have a passing game. So your wide receivers need to step up. We're talking about Michael Gallup, the rookie, Allen Hurns, Cole Beasley. All those guys need to step up in order to take all the pressure off of the run game. That way you can get some play action going. But if you can't run the ball, if you can't throw the ball, it's going to be a long day for the Cowboys.
From an offensive standpoint for the Panthers, are you worried about that O-line with the Dallas D-line, what they have?
Yes. Everybody should be worried about O-lines when they look as leaky as the Panthers did. There's so many injuries along this line. And even though Cam Newton is an expert runner, nobody's better than he is from that position rushing the football. You still have to think, what about pressures when he does inevitably have to throw it? That's going to be really scary all season long.
All right, let's do a little picks. I will start things off.
Okay.
Outside of Zeke, nobody scares me on this Dallas offense. Cam Newton's going to be better with Norv Turner as his OC. Give me the Panthers.
You know what? Panthers' offensive line has a lot of questions, like you had said, and I think that with no Thomas Davis, I don't see anyone stopping the Cowboys' offense. And I really liked what I saw defensively when they took on the Cardinals. I'm going Cowboys on this one.
Well, Cowboys. Well, if you are the Carolina Panthers, you know the one thing you have to do is stop that Cowboys running game. That's pretty simple. They were number 3 in the rush defense last year. They're capable. Make Dak Prescott throw the football, turn the ball over. Give me the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, so I have Panthers 24, Cowboys 21. No defense was worse on second down than the Cowboys last season. They haven't addressed it from anything I've seen. And you know who's really good at rushing on second down? Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Heard of him.
Are you going to have any blowouts this week? Everything's close.
Oh, you're going to notice my model doesn't love Minnesota. That's a blowout.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Let's talk triple threat, shall we? Winning streaks in the 2017 season of at least 3 games. It happened 29 times. 4 games, 14 times. 5 games, 7 times. The Eagles had the longest winning streak at 9 games, by the way. Who's going to win their first 3 games? TD, let's start with you.
Let's go with these Green Bay Packers here. Start off with the Chicago Bears, which they should win that game. And then the next 2 games they have right there. You see right
Minnesota.
there? You got the Minnesota Vikings, yes. But you see where that game is played? You see where it's played? At Lambeau Field. And then they go to Washington. I think they can beat the Redskins. So give me the 3 Pete straight in a row.
Cynthia.
For the second straight season, the scheduling gods have been very favorable to the LA Rams. I like them to win their first 3. It's Oakland this week. It's Arizona next week. And then the Chargers. That one's a little scarier. But you know what? We like defenses that win games. And I think this Rams defense and the Rams offense, the balance that they have on both, I think they're going to be hard for anyone to overcome.
A lot of star power in Los Angeles this year. Aaron, take it away.
Time now for On the Hook, presented by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Joined now by MJD, Rod Woodson, and TD. Guys, week 1 officially upon us, which means it is time to ask who is on the hook to pull off that upset win. We love talking about it. MJD, kick it off.
Ooh, you guys gonna start with me? Okay, listen. I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns versus Pittsburgh Steelers. I know Big Ben is 26-2 against the Browns, but there's a lot of turmoil going on. Le'Veon's not there. You got guys talking about the guys' money. Okay, every time they go to Cleveland at the beginning of the year, they struggle. They struggle on the road against bad teams. Even though I don't think Cleveland's a bad team, I think they put some pieces together to be a very good team. Yep. I think this is going to be the upset of the week.
And I like that Tyrod's there. How about you, Rod?
That's right.
You know what? I'm going to go Oakland Raiders versus the Rams on the Monday night games. The Super Bowl favorite, the Rams, but it's in Oaktown. I got the Oakland Raiders getting the upset in the black hole. You know, that's what I got.
There's a black hole missing with Khalil Mack not there.
I work for the Rams and I love the Raiders. I'm torn. It's hard in my pockets. How does it work?
I don't know about that.
You always go with your heart.
I don't know about that one right there.
All right, TD.
I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals upsetting the Indianapolis Colts. And I know what you guys say it's not upset. Yeah, it is an upset.
How is it upset?
Andrew Luck is back, and when Andrew Luck is playing, they win about 61% of their games. So he's back. But the problem is, I don't know what to expect
from Andrew Luck. What you going to get from him?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know.
All them weapons on the Bengals?
Oh, man, that's what I'm saying. So, the Colts are favored in this one. So this is the upset right here. I'm going with the Bengals to pull off the upset. It's pretty simple one for me. Pretty easy.
I like it.
Remember this interception from 2017? Navarro Bowman picked off Paxton Lynch for the Raiders' first interception of the season. Not a big deal, except it came in week 12. Still can't believe it took that long. As a team, Oakland only had 5 picks all season. That was the fewest in the NFL. Let's find out how long some milestones will take to happen this season. Starting with the GOAT, Tom Brady. How long is it going to take Tom Brady to reach 200 career wins? He needs 4, by the way.
So looking at his schedule, I think it happens in 5 games. There's a Houston Texans game this week and the Jacksonville Jaguars game next week. My math says one of those games he has the potential to not win. I'm not saying which one, but, one of those games he has the potential to not win. So I'm saying that by week 5, and we're going to see it, I think that makes it Indianapolis. He's going to do it there in Indy.
How long will it take for Brady to reach 500 career touchdown passes? He's 12 away.
Yeah, so 12 touchdown passes is going to take him, by my math, 9 game. So that means versus Green Bay, that's where it's going to happen. Part because of the kind of defenses that he's facing. Again, Texans, Jaguars, those are two defenses that are very stingy against the pass. And that's why it's going to take that long, because he averages 2 touchdowns a game last season. So that's kind of a little difference this year.
That's not even 1.5 touchdown passes a game. How long is it going to take Drew Brees to get 500 career touchdown passes? Ironically, he needs 12 as well.
It's going to happen in the 7th game, and that happens against Minnesota. In part, here you have to see there's more balance between their offense and defense. They don't need to score as many points as when we used to see leakier defenses for the Saints. And so Drew Brees just had to go ham on all of this, and now he's going to slow it down a little bit more methodical, and the run game actually has a big contributor to that.
No doubt. We're not done with Brees just yet. He needs 1,496 yards to become the NFL's all-time leading passer, which is crazy when you think about it. Drew Brees is going to be atop this list.
Yeah, he's going to be atop the list in the 6th game, and that happens against the Ravens for me. Drew Brees, so if Mark Ingram would not have been suspended, it would have happened even a little bit sooner per my math, but that's what's going to happen here.
He is less.
And I know that seems weird because he's a running back, so you'd think the opposite. But
no, I totally get it. It makes sense because the running game makes the passing game better. He is less than 400 yards away from Brett Favre for number 2. Peyton Manning, of course, is number 1.
Right here is a recap of our picks so far. A full sweep, of course, with Green Bay beating the Bears. Only TD thinks the Browns are going to beat the Steelers. It would be their first win in over a season. The Vikings beat the Niners, and I have the lone pick for the Cowboys to beat the Panthers. Although I'm really not that confident with that. With that, let's find out just how confident Cynthia is in some of her decisions in our segment we like to call Pick 6. And let's start with this first game. You're going to dole out points, 6 being your most confident, 1 not. And let's talk with this first matchup, the Jags taking on the Giants.
So I already know who I have winning this one. I have the Jags coming out on top. I think I was a little more certain because we split on it as a team here. So I'm going with 3 on this one. I'm pretty certain that this is going to happen. I really like my chances here, especially with Olivier Vernon out.
And you also don't know what you're going to get from that Giants offense yet. Everyone's healthy, but we still don't know what Eli Manning is capable of. All right, Bills taking on the Ravens.
So this is another one that's kind of an overwhelming game in my model. I have the Ravens coming out on top in this one. I'm sorry, Bills Nation, you're a little mad at me. I'm very confident.
The Ravens were number 1 in takeaways.
Bills Mafia.
Nathan Peterman, good luck. All right, let's move on to the next game. The Bears taking on the Packers.
So you already know my winner. You already know my final score, 27-21 in this one. I think this one gets the 4. I don't think Khalil Mack playing the entire game, so that really drives that confidence.
Okay, next game, Titans and Dolphins.
Yeah, so unfortunately, South Florida, I do have you winning, but it is my least confident in the entire model. This one could really go either way, and I do think that weather will be a factor.
The Titans are the favorite in this one as well. Okay, the Bengals taking on Andrew Luck and the Colts.
I think the Andrew Luck effect is like overly large in our heads, right? Because I have the Bengals coming out on top in this one. Yeah, it's number 2 on here, but this thing's creeping up to number 3, maybe even number 4.
You don't know what you're going to get from Andrew Luck. He hasn't been on the field.
And I do know what I'm going to get from their secondary, and it's not going to be good.
There you go. Last but certainly not least, the Niners taking on the Vikings defense.
Let's circle this one a lot.
You're pretty confident about that one?
A lot of circles in that one.
6. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just not even a question.
No, look, it's the defense. It's all about their defense, and there's a lot of questions on the Niners defense. Let's go Vikings.
I like it. Let's recap it, shall we? Here are the 6 games, the order in which, of course, you are most confident, the Vikings being the favorite, the Dolphins being your least favorite. Dan, you like this too?
I think Cynthia knows what she's talking about.
She sure does.
Back to the picks. 2 teams seemingly going in opposite directions. We're talking about the Broncos, who are primed for a run in the AFC West, while the Seahawks, among the biggest question marks in the NFL, they are seemingly rebuilding, at least on the defensive side of the ball. The Broncos favored by 3. TD, who do you think is going to have a bigger impact for Denver, that offense or the defense?
Oh, it's their defense. Their defense is going to have a bigger impact, and here's why. Last year, Russell Wilson accounted for 81.4% of scrimmage yards. That's a lot of yards from a quarterback. Denver's defense, their linebackers in particular, are guys that can frustrate, pressure, and be able to be all around Russell Wilson whether he wants to run or throw the ball. So they'll come in there, they'll play a big factor in that. So give me their defense.
All right, from one defense to the other, Cynthia, what are you expecting to see from that Seattle D?
Well, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to see, but I'm glad Earl Thomas is back. And I do think that makes a big difference because Pete Carroll and his mastermind, all of those like exotic fronts he put, how's he going to create pressure? There's so many questions. How do you replace, one of the best cornerbacks is now no longer there? How do you kind of retool this entire defense. If there's one guy that can do it, it's Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. I love him. I went to USC, so maybe that's why. Cynthia, let's start with the picks in this game.
Yeah, so I have the Broncos coming out on top, 23-21.
You know what? I have the Broncos as well. They upgraded at the QB position. We don't really know the Legion of Boom. I'm going Broncos. TD, is it a no-brainer for you?
I got the Broncos in this one, and here is why. They have a quarterback that would not put them in bad situations. That's what happened to them all last year. It would not happen with Case Keenum.
The Seattle defense could have as many as 8 new starters. Look out for Emmanuel Sanders, going to put up big numbers. I'm going Broncos. All right, so we got all the picks that are in. I believe it is a clean sweep once again. TD, do you have just a second?
I got a second. What's up?
Oh yeah, I have a couple questions for you, but first I want to send it over to our other guy.
Okay, yeah.
This is a new segment that we like to call 60 Seconds with Dave Dameshek.
Hi and hello, football fans. Welcome to football season. Don't know if you've heard, but Le'Veon Bell and the Steelers have been at odds of late. And after a successful stint on Hard Knocks, all of Cleveland is feeling good. But it says here James Conner will deliver a touchdown in a Steelers victory, no less. Chin up, Cleveland. You still have LeBron. Next, let's talk about one of Jimmy Conner's fellow sophomore running backs, Leonard Fournette. He's going to rush for over 110 yards on Sunday and over 1,150 yards over the course of the season. Now let's take a look at glasses both half full and half empty. Bad news first, Seahawks are not going to win as many as 7 games this season. Consolation prize for you, Russell Wilson. You're my fantasy quarterback. Muzzle tough to you, fella. Now let's go half full. Bengals are going to win at least 8 games this season. And bonus for you, Andy Dalton. You're my backup fantasy quarterback. With a shot of moving up. And if you're the type who likes to read the last part of the novel first, Super Bowl 53 will feature the Rams and the Chargers. Yes, you cannot spell Atlanta without L.A. Congratulations in advance to both of those teams, and I'll talk to you next week.
All right, earlier in the show, we gave you these win totals, 11 for the Saints, just 9 for the Rams, 8 for the Bears and the Niners, and 7 for the Cowboys. Let's do some more win totals this time in the AFC, and we start with the AFC champion Patriots. Cynthia, what do you have?
Okay, look, AFC champion, yeah, okay. I'm going again. Another AFC championship, not just the East. This is the most in all of my AFC projections. I know people say there's 12 wins, blah, blah, blah. 11. That's what I'm giving them.
That's tops in the AFC this year.
That's tops in the AFC?
Yep. There's only a few teams at the top, and then there's a whole bunch of people kind of.
I like that for the Patriots, but I don't know if that's tops in the AFC.
Okay, all right. Are the Jets going to? Well, hold that thought. Let's see what here.
So it's not the Jets.
Okay.
It's not the Jets.
All right.
I've got them with 6 wins, which is not bad with a new quarterback, rookie quarterback. Questions
I don't know
on
if
there.
It's good enough to keep everybody in house.
Who's catching the passes?
6-win season. No, it's good.
Yeah.
The new one's back.
You think Bowles is going?
Listen, I love their safeties. They have great safeties. Their defense is a real strong suit. I think they don't get enough credit on defense.
No problems with 6 wins. That's okay with me.
Okay.
That's
So I'm glad.
You're the only one. All right, Jags.
All right, here we go. Let's see.
Here we go. You ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wins for the Jags. Yeah? No? Not good enough?
I think they're maybe hoping for a few more, but yeah, they have to.
That's number 2.
I think they take
a
step back. The defense is really good, but the offense, I think they take a step back. I have them more about 9 wins, 8, 9 wins this year.
Look out for Keelan Cole in Jacksonville. What about the Raiders with their new, not $100 million coach, but close in John Gruden?
Okay, so it's kind of one of those half one between 5 and 6. So I'm going to be nice and give them 6, but it's kind of closer trending towards 5 in my model. See you later, Khalil Mack. You need to pressure opposing offenses. 6 wins.
Yeah, I think when Gruden made that move, they just told us they're not trying to win right now down the road, so 6 wins is pretty good.
I don't know if Arden Key's going to be able to fill in what Khalil Mack provided.
Not quite the same.
Brownies.
Listen, welcome. There's going to be a parade. I've heard this would cause a parade in Cleveland, potentially. That's what I hear. 6 wins. Yeah?
Well, after last year, I think 6 wins is okay. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I feel like expectations are sky high for the Cleveland Browns after everybody watched Hard Knocks.
I'm going a little higher. How about 8 wins?
You want 8 wins for the Browns? Okay, all right, let's go.
Yes. You know what? I kind of agree with you, TD. I'm on the Browns train. The hype
train.
I'm on it too.
We also you guys and your Hard Knocks.
You and everybody else.
Hard Knocks.
I love Hard Knocks, and I'm a big fan of Tyrod Taylor. A need for speed right now. Quick picks, guys. Washington taking on Arizona. Dan, you want to start this?
Yeah, I love the Redskins. I think Jamison Crowder's going to do work out of the slot because he's not going to have to face Patrick Peterson. Their run D vastly improved. Let's go Redskins.
You would say the Redskins. Yeah. I'm going Cardinals. I liked what I saw in preseason in their defense. I know it was just preseason, but the Cardinals defense, watch out.
I have a Redskins winning 24-20. 21. Let's go, Jonathan Allen, back on that defensive line, stopping any sort of run. Sorry, David Johnson, that's going to be a really tough buzzsaw to get through.
I like that. I believe in Alex Smith. Give me the Redskins on the road winning this game.
All right, Chargers and the Chiefs. We actually all agree on this one, I think for good reason. So we'll just let Cynthia explain.
So, Chargers 26, Chiefs 24. Okay.
Close game, another close game.
That's a close game. This one could go the other way easily. We've got a bunch of injuries to keep track of. This is one where I'm waiting until the injury report comes out Sunday to be really confident in at all. Joey Bosa, he's not playing. It's a huge deal.
Huge deal. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Another huge deal, the Saints taking on the Bucs. We all agree that the Saints are going to get the W. Cynthia, what's the final score in this one?
Yeah, so this is an overwhelming win, 28-14. You happy with that? He said I didn't have any.
Yes, I like it.
This one's my absolute favorite one for the week when it comes to, which score I feel most confident in because of that Bucs secondary.
Yeah. It's
okay. Can we get to locks of the week?
This
is something I've been looking forward to the
it.
entire show. Cynthia, we'll start with you here.
Yeah, Saints.
Okay.
No brainer?
Simple as that, huh?
Yeah. What the math says. What does the math say?
It's always about the math with her.
Yes, that's my job. That's what I do here.
TD, I can't understand the math. Give me something else.
I'm going with the Vikings as a lock because I can't find enough reasons where the Niners go into that building and win that game. Two stacked on the
I like that one
Vikings side. So give me the Vikings as the lock of the week.
What we do on NFL Game Day Pick'Em is give you winners. Here are TD's winners by division. Patriots, Steelers, Texans, Chargers, Eagles, Packers, Saints, and Rams. Cynthia's look like this. Pretty similar.
Yep.
Pat, Steelers, Jags, Chiefs, Eagles, Packers, Saints, and Rams. Let's go Super Bowl predictions now. Let's get big. TD?
Not happening. Super Bowl. I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers and the Los Angeles Rams.
You can't be all LA.
California, all LA affair in this matchup. Two teams that were just, listen, the Rams, they should have been in the playoffs, in the Super Bowl last year. The Chargers, had they made the playoffs, may have gone to the Super Bowl. So those two teams are in the Super Bowl.
If they made the playoffs, they'd be in the Super Bowl. Make the playoffs before you get to the Super Bowl. What is that?
They had momentum, man. Momentum was on their side, Dan. You understand how that works, brother.
Cynthia, what do you got?
Okay, so I go Saints and Chiefs. You heard me, Chiefs. Saints, I think everybody understands why I already sing their praise a ton during this show. Chiefs, boomer bust. They've got Patrick Mahomes. He's going to change their offense and the ability to take the top off of defenses. That's number one. And then the defensive side, they've addressed. We're going to see it happen. They've addressed stopping the run on defense. And I think as long as Eric Berry plays, that's a caveat. That's kind of important right there. They're going to have that stopper in their pass defense too. Boomer bust. Chiefs, Super Bowl. Let's go.
Chiefs win the Super Bowl?
No, they don't win it. They get it. They get there.
I like the
Andy Reid makes it to the playoffs.
Not sure
Come
about
on.
the Chiefs, but I dig it. Finally today, guys, it is our Survivor Pool picks. Survive in advance. We can only pick one team in our Survivor Pool.
Wow.
I think we should start with you, Dan.
Yeah, once you pick them once, you can't use them the rest of the season.
Regular
you know how this works.
Rules.
I'm not saving anybody for later. I'm going Saints
all
right
about
now.
surviving.
They're playing the Bucs, best offense in the league against one of the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah.
It's really pretty simple.
I'm going to go with the Ravens. They're playing the Bills. Have you seen their offensive line lately? Not very good. Nathan Peterman going up against the team that had the best in takeaways last year. I'm going Ravens.
You guys plan on being
I'm agreeing with you on the Ravens, too. I like the Ravens.
Oh, nice.
I know about defenses. Defenses win games. And then I can save the Ravens. I don't have to use them again. I'm doing Ravens.
All right.
TD.
You're up,
All right,
buddy.
TD. All right, TD.
So let me just.
Gonna break it out.
Yeah. Who is it? All right.
Give me them lines. Give me them lines.
Okay.
Hope
All
this
right.
thing fits on my dome here.
there you
My
go.
God.
That's great. Looks great.
Good
My Lions, they better take this thing down. They're playing the New York Jets. They got Sam Darnold as the starting quarterback. If the Lions don't win this game, we got a major problem, all right? Come on, Lions.
Can't wait
Bring
to
it home,
wear the
baby.
Raiders.